meeting is called to order for the special public hearing of August 29th, 2016. Madam Clerk, the roll call.
Councilman Bodier. Councilman Benton.
Present.
Councilman Hewitt.
Present.
Councilman Johnston. Councilman Wheeler.
Present.
Mayor Maselli.
Present.
Police Chief Walker.
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr. And
I believe he's going to be coming soon.
City Attorney Burris. City CPA Linda Lulu. And Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee.
And we have to pledge?
We do the pledge, I think,
We're
at
gonna,
the,
when we continue on to the.
I'm just off. It's not on here. Normally it's on here.
because it's the hearing, and when we move to the.
Gotcha.
Madam Clerk, do you want to discuss the hearing?
Yeah, the public hearing to consider and vote on levying additional or increased millage rates without further voter approval or adopting the adjusted millage rates after reassessment and rolling forward to rates not to exceed the prior year's maximum. The estimated amount of tax revenues to be collected in the next year from the increased millage is $2,125,402, and the amount of increase in taxes attributable to the millage increase is $29,585.57.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The public hearing is now open. Would anyone like to speak to this matter? Please come up to the podium on your right. State your name and address, please.
Name is Meijing Casnay, 46 Oak Avenue,
You want to
Harry.
repeat? I forgot to turn on the mic. Thank you.
Y'all forgot to say the Pledge of
We
Allegiance.
do that not during a hearing. We're going to do it at the regular
Okay.
council meeting. Thank you.
Thought y'all forgot. Name is Meijing Casnay, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan, Louisiana. By law, the city must adopt the new rates as presented by the assessor, and also by law, the city is mandated to collect the same amount of money as the previous year. The council must also decide whether the amount of money brought in by this millage is enough to run the city, or do they want to keep the millage that the public voted on? If the council wants to keep the millage rate, they must roll forward the millage. That's what this ordinance does. It means the millage will stay the same as when the people voted on it. I urge that you roll the millage forward to keep the millage the same as the previous people already voted on. Don't allow this millage to be changed. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to speak during the hearing? We will now close the public hearing. Any council discussion? Oh, sorry, we have another speaker. We'll reopen it momentarily. Thank you.
My name is Vivian Solaris, and I live at 29 West Imperial, where I've resided for 44 years. Anyone here longer than that? I just added that to
I'm
my
going to
script.
ask you to address the council. Thank you.
I am here concerning my water bill. I propose a change in the minimum water consumption. The first level would be reduced from 6,000 gallons to 4,000 gallons.
Ms. Solaris, we're addressing the millage right now on the assessment of property. We are going to be bringing up about the sewer and rates
Okay,
soon.
all right.
I can make sure that we get you up to speak during that, or during Address the Council if you'd like.
During what?
When we open the next session during Address the Council, it'll be very quick, and we'll get there for you.
In this session?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That'll
And
be
so
fine.
I'll see where you're sitting so we can make sure and get you back up, okay?
Oh, I'm gonna get.
Thank you, thank you. The public hearing is now closed. Council discussion? If there's no council discussion, Do I have a motion to adjourn this public hearing meeting and continue on to the regular August public council meeting?
Motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. The public hearing is now adjourned, and we will now proceed on to the regular city council meeting. The meeting is called to order for the regular city council meeting of August 29, 2016. Madam Clerk, Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call.
Roll call again. Councilman Bodier. Councilman Benton.
Present.
Councilman Hewitt.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Wheeler.
Present.
Mayor Maselli.
Present.
Police Chief Walker.
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr. City Attorney Burris. City CPA Linda Lulu. And Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee.
Thank
Special-
you.
You have anything?
I'd like to make some comments before the meeting started. August 12th, recently, the Baton Rouge area and Denham Springs experienced extraordinarily heavy rainfall, causing multiple rivers to flood the surrounding areas. The resulting floods wreaked havoc, placing many in harm's way, flooding thousands of homes and leaving those affected desperately in need of resources. The Harahan Fire Department, under the supervision of Chief Todd St. Cyr, assisted in recovery in Denham Springs. The Harahan Police Department, under the supervision of Chief Tim Walker, assisted in recovery also in Baton Rouge. These departments contributed manpower and equipment, but mostly heart, immediately following the disaster that was desperately needed. Both of these departments responded admirably, and while providing assistance, simultaneously kept our city completely staffed and safe. So I'd like to take a moment to thank them very much for all their efforts. Harahan residents have also contributed tremendously. Harahan Cares was established to collect specific necessary supplies from those willing to contribute. Harahan residents did not hesitate, and their response was quite astonishing. This effort, led by Keith Moody, successfully brought many critical supplies to the very people who needed it most. The city will continue to collect supplies until August 31st through that date. You can drop off your donations at City Hall or at the Harahan Police Department. I would like to thank our community for rising up and providing these very necessary resources to people who've been devastated. I think it shows that Harahan has proven it's earned the title City of Friendship. So congratulations to our community for doing that. I also have another special announcement. The Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada presented a Distinguished Budget Award to St. John the Baptist Parish Government. The reason I mention this is because St. John's CPA is someone we're very familiar with and we share. She is also Harahan's Administrator of Finance, Miss Linda Lulu. With her efforts and professional judgment, their budget has won this award for the past 3 years. Only 15 of the 65 parishes in Louisiana were recognized with this award. I'd like to congratulate you again for your accomplishments. Harahan is fortunate to have you on our team, and I look forward to one day hopefully being among that list of special recipients for our budget. So That's a wonderful accomplishment. I'd also, yeah, that was really wonderful news. The city has also just completed the 2015 audit, which was published on the city's website and the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's website. The audit demonstrates that the city is in a much better fiscal position and poised for progress. I'm going to review just a few highlights so I don't belabor your time. The deficit inherited by this administration was adjusted upward to $1,256,703. The city decreased that deficit by 75%, equaling $994,116, nearly $1 million in just 1 year. We did this by imposing significant internal controls on spending and reporting. At the end of 2015, the remaining fund balance was $994,000. I'm going to make a correction. The 75% was $958,000. I'm sorry, I transposed my numbers. At the end of 2015, the remaining fund balance was the $994,000, an increase of $869,914 from the prior year. The city's ability to pay down debt leaves the city's deficit now at $298,000 for 2016. We have a visual aid that we tried to put up for everyone, so we'll try and reposition it. If the videographer, did you get a picture? Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Simino. It shows basically a thermometer. In 2014, it shows all the red where the deficit was of 1.25 million. Last year, in 2015, you can see that the deficit went down. Each block in the thermometer section is $250,000. We are now down to $981,000 remaining. Our goal for this year is to be in the green to get out of that deficit. And with the help of our residents, this council, our experts, our employees, I'm confident we can get close to that. The city also collected $122,640 in back taxes by June of this year by simply improving invoicing. Thank you again. The city will now comply with state law by holding its first tax sale on October 19th. For the first time, Harahan has a budget in the required format that complies with the Local Government Budget Act and follows generally accepted accounting principles. The city has also adopted the Government Accounting Standards Board statement for reporting pensions and contributions. So it was quite a feat, quite an accomplishment. The city is better and stronger for the work we have done collectively. I appreciate the efforts of every department leader, government employee, council member, credited with saving financial resources, smart management, and overall making sacrifices to protect the pocketbooks of our residents. Madam Clerk, special presentations.
2016 JPRD 12 and under softball East Bank champions. Scott C.
Good evening. I want to thank the council for recognizing the girls for their accomplishment. The team was made up of Little Farms and Harahan players. The dwindling numbers are making it tough to make a team from one playground. It was a hard-fought battle. The girls had to come out of the loser's bracket to win the tournament. They played pretty much every night for almost 3 weeks. So, and most of the time we only had 9 girls, so it was really tough. They never did get a break. So I'd like to call them up. It's Abby St. Cyr. Destiny Linton. Cassidy Killian. Elizabeth Evans. Emily Hodges. Carly Koch. Madeline Rose. Molly Gibbs. Brenna Mitchell. And Caitlin Lyons. I'd also like to recognize Eric Koch. He was the assistant coach on the team. He was one of the coaches that came over from Little Falls to help us out. Thank y'all.
Lady Hawks, we'd like to tell you congratulations and thank you to your coaches, your family. They did a great job and your efforts really have shined. So thank you for everything.
Special presentations number 2, a proclamation for Robert and Rena Blaze for their 60th wedding anniversary.
I've asked our city clerk to read the proclamation because I thought that maybe a different voice is welcome at this point.
Whereas Robert and Rena Blaze celebrate 60 loving years of marriage and wish them many more happy years together. And whereas both Mr. and Mrs. Blaze reside in Harahan, Louisiana, and were married on April 6, 1956 at St. Henry Church in New Orleans, Louisiana. And whereas Bob and Rena are the beloved parents of Robbie, Randy, and Richie, and the beloved and doting grandparents to 8 wonderful grandchildren and 1 great-grandson who have brought the Blazes immense joy and pleasure. And whereas April 6, 2016 marks the 60th wedding anniversary of Bob and Rena Blaze, and this is an important milestone in their lives. It also marks 60 years of love, devotion, and mutual support that enable them to be the strong, loving couple they are and the good friend and caring neighbors they have been to so many over the years. And whereas the mayor of the city of Harahan, by this proclamation, offers the warmest and most heartfelt congratulations to Bob and Rena Blaze of Harahan on the occasion of the celebration of their 60th wedding anniversary, and to extend to them and their family every good wish for success, health, and continued happiness in the years to come. Now therefore, the mayor and the city of Harahan hereby proclaim April 6, 2016 in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Robert Blaze.
Mr. and Mrs. Blaze unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. They will be getting their proclamation. What role models they have been for everyone, for this community, and what a wonderful accomplishment.
Alrighty. And third special presentation for the night, HPD presentation. Harahan Police Department.
Thank you. Mayor, council, viewing public, I'd like to make this presentation in regards to the Harahan Police Department and their efforts for the rescue operation in Baton Rouge. Officers of the Harahan Police Department distinguish themselves in the department for mysterious service and the performance of duty while deployed for search and rescue operations during the severe flooding throughout southern Louisiana, August 10th through August 14th. Their tactical and technical expertise was instrumental in the success of the mission with no loss of life or injury to any member of the Harahan Police Department and without damage to any city property, despite the harsh and unforgiving environment they were placed in. These officers voluntarily deployed to assist with rescue of over 219 civilians from several key locations. Many civilians were women, children, and elderly infirmed, with quite a few animals as well. The team that were deployed handled over 300 calls for service, as well as numerous flag downs by stranded individuals and bystanders. During this mission, officers supported search and rescue personnel and special response team personnel in the rescue, recovering, and security operations around the Baton Rouge area. The terrain was marked with several feet of water, fallen debris, live electrical wires, and dangerous wildlife, making it impassable for regular vehicle traffic or normal rescue operations to pass through, and stranding civilians without food or water for several days. During several of these rescues, these officers selflessly and without regard for personal safety entered the water in order to assist with evacuating civilians and to ensure the civilians stayed out of harm's way. Without these officers' efforts and actions, the civilians would not have been evacuated and would be left behind, forcing them to endure the long-term mental and physical feelings of helplessness and abandonment. Their efforts directly contributed to the success and safety of the interagency rescue teams, as well as all deployed by governmental agencies. These officers' dedication and devotion to duty are most heartfully commended and bring great credit upon themselves and the Harahan Police Department. It should also be noted that when the officers were notified that they would be recognized for their service and actions, more than a majority of them immediately advised that they did not need any recognition and that that one needed to be done when it was needed to be done. They refused acknowledgement, knowing that their actions will always speak louder than their words could. Officers involved in this operation were Captain Butch Adams, Captain Leo Savoy, Sergeant Nicholas Gleber, Sergeant Thomas Bronk, Sergeant Wesley Wesh, Officer David Darwin, Gabe Swemson, Mark Jovanovich, Ashley Underwood, David Schneider, David Duthu, and Paul Morano. When this call for help came out through Jefferson Parish Emergency Management several weeks ago, I was approached by the officers. We have a couple of high water vehicles. One of them's a 1970 model military truck, 5-ton. And I had some concerns about going up there and back. Well, it not only did it the first day, Sunday, we asked to go back because of its high water rescue, to go back a second day. And again, these officers, without regards to their own safety, made 2 trips up there. This past week, we were invited to the Jefferson Parish Council, where received a certificate of merit from the parish president and from the council members for their duty. There's fire departments and police departments throughout the state that responded. So, again, my hat's off to them. These guys and gals are very dedicated and gave their time to go up there to help those in need. Can I continue with my reports? Means I'm up here. The monthly report for the Harahan Police Department for July was 597 calls for service, 13 accidents, 53 citations issued for 81 violations or charges, 4 funeral escorts, 9 patrol requests. Total number of arrests for the month were 46 for 104 charges, 28 with traffic, 15 felonies, 38 misdemeanors, and 23 sittings. We had 6 larceny thefts for the month and 4 assaults. I'd also like to talk about the budget audit came out, and I have some serious problems. Going back, I mentioned before in 2014, when I came in May, I was concerned about the budget. My staff and myself worked very diligently to stay within budget. If you all recall, after the budget audit was done and completed last year, we said we were overspent some $1,500. I'd explained to the auditor that we had monies that were coming back to us. We work grants, whether they technology grants or overtime grants for different agencies. We get reimbursed after the year is up. And the auditor was telling us it cannot be applied back to that budget. I don't know where the money went, but as a result of that, over budget 2014. And apparently we had the same thing when the 15 budget just came out a few weeks ago. And I've talked to the mayor and Ms. Lulu that we were working within budget, and it's got us to where we're some $20-something thousand, well, $55,000 over budget. But if the monies that are owed to us are paid back, we would be pretty close to being within budget. In this last year, we're getting charged. We pay now 40% of electricity for this building because only 1 meter. Whenever I talk to the city finance director or to the city attorney, I get charged. There wasn't money in my budget for those fees. I mean, I've got a lot of problems that need to be addressed with the city attorney. For example, which I mentioned to you all on several occasions, such y'all emails, our Harahan Animal animal ordinance needs to be updated. If I go talk to Mr. DeBuris, I'm sure I'll be charged for that. I don't have it in my budget, but some of these ordinances are really outdated. For example, the ABO ordinance that we use is from 1970. I mean, it really needs to be overvamped, and I don't have the money in my budget to talk to Mr. Burris to see about having these resolved. I just have some serious concerns about how we're not being reimbursed for monies that we spent, but we're being reimbursed through the state, through grants, whether it's technology grants, overtime grants, and I look like I'm 55,000. What was brought to my attention just recently, liability insurance. We would charge for liability insurance, but we weren't given a corresponding revenue. Where's it gonna end? I mean, if I come up short, the money that I left on the table goes back to the general fund for the city. Something needs to be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and we'd like to also commend again all the efforts of our first responders. And just an aside, we have talked to the chief, and during further council discussion with budgets, we will discuss the events of allocating overhead expenses, et cetera, and what's been done and how it's been done. But I'd also like to make sure that we extend our thoughts and our prayers to those who are still in need of recovery in South Louisiana due to the flooding. We have a late addition to the agenda to consider an application for the high-content alcohol beverage license for Corner Pocket Management Group LLC DBA, the Curve Bar and Billiards located at 6231 Jefferson Highway for Terrence M. Smothers and Shanti A. Smothers. I would like to amend the agenda to place this item as number 5 under new business. If I can have a motion.
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. Oh, so Councilman Bent, either one, okay. Councilman Wheeler then. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. The agenda item has been added. And Madam Clerk, I believe you have given everyone a copy of that addition, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. We will now proceed to address the council. We will open up to address the council. Please come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll have three minutes to address the council. Please refrain from any inflammatory comments. I'll set the timer and you'll hear the buzz. If you can just give me a moment to get there. Okay, thank you.
On Saturday, Rhonda Bagby, on Saturday, September the 10th at Chateau Country Club, they are going to have a fundraiser for the Jefferson Council on Aging. They're going to have prizes a silent auction, and they're going to have music. If you can't actually attend, if you just want to make a donation to the Council on Aging, it would be greatly appreciated. They have a lot of wonderful, wonderful programs for our seniors. And if we are blessed to turn 60 years old, we just might be some of them that need some of their services. So anything can help. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mayor, I have some flyers. If it's okay, I'll just leave it out.
Thank you very much.
John Ream, 3 Rent Pass. I'd like to thank the Harahan Police Department and the Fire Department for all the good work they do in protecting the citizens. We sent videos to the mayor and the council showing uncontrolled sand blowing into Harahan on Monday, August the 22nd. Nighttime operations, sand trucks noise, August the 2nd at 10:46 p.m. and concrete crushing operations Saturday, August the 20th. Also included were the Harahan ordinances for non-urban bachelor district, noise and nuisance. There is concrete crushing about 300 yards from Harahan residents on the wood material site. An application to crush concrete was filed by G. Kendrick and gave the address of the wood material site without naming wood materials. I have a copy of the application, and we gave a copy to y'all also. And we do not believe this should be granted because of already heavy burden on Harahan of uncontrolled airborne particulate emissions of Harahan Woods, sand, limestone, concrete dumping, mulching, and compost businesses. 2 concrete crushers were put on site. On the afternoon of Saturday, August the 20th, they started crushing concrete. We do not believe they had the permit from the DEQ on Saturday. The dust from the crusher was visible for about 500 feet. They are huge concrete piles and asphalt on site. The mayor and the council and citizens of Harahan should voice their concerns to DEQ about concrete crushing so near the Harahan homes and businesses. Also, a New Orleans City Business article dated August the 11th, 2016, titled Wood Materials Building New Road, Relationship with Harahan Neighbors. First line of article states, construction has begun on a new road for wood materials customers to haul sand. Ham said it should take about 6 weeks to complete the new haul road, which began construction in July. This comment was stated in August 11th article, but we did not see any construction on the new haul road in July or August the 11th or even now. We care. We really do want to be good neighbors, said Ham in the article. Good neighbors don't continue to ruin Harahan's residents' quality of life with trying to run operations 24 hours a day, filing permit to dredge 1.5 million cubic yards of sand, storing compost, animal waste, coffee waste, tree waste, concrete crushing, asphalt crushing, and limestone on the Batcher. Wood Materials has not been a good neighbor. All haul roads on the Harahan Batcher need to be paved. What is Harahan doing to enforce
May I
the
have a
particular
motion to
matter?
extend time? I turned off the sound accidentally.
Motion.
I have a motion to extend time by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
Thank you. What is Harahan doing to enforce the particulate matter ordinance, and who will monitor and enforce the ordinance? Where do we stand on the court case for the composting? The citizens of Harahan deserve answers to these questions. We thank you very much.
Darlene Schwartz with the Harahan Police Department. Have a couple quick announcements. Tuesday, October 18th, we will be hosting once again the National Night Out Against Crime event over at St. Rita. We've got to meet with the principal, but tentatively we're going to look at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. since it's a school night. It was requested we move it up a little bit, make it a little bit earlier. We'll again have a live band, inflatables for the kids, free food, entertainment, and a lot of good federal, state, and local agencies participating. We've already had a commitment from about 8 agencies. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is going to try to do a K-9 demonstration this year, which I think will be really cool. So please mark your calendar, make plans to attend, and if you would like to participate or know an agency that could provide some public service information, ask them to get in touch with either myself or Tracy Whittle, Chief Tim Walker's secretary, so we can ensure a table for their participation. In addition to that, I don't have the exact date yet, but also in October, we're looking at National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day once again. We did phenomenal the last time, so please put aside in a safe place all those unused, unwanted prescription items, and we look forward to collecting those and disposing of them in a proper manner. And I'd like to extend, although it's already probably known, an invitation to each of the council people to please participate in our Night Out Against Crime event. You know, we're a small city, and you know, teaming up is the best way we can make things work for everybody. And please let me know what you guys would like to do, and I look forward to working with all of y'all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
My name is Evelyn Ream at 3 Run Pass. We send video to Harahan officials of night noise. Wood Materials' nighttime work causes airborne sand, loud beeping, horns blowing, truck noise, and emissions. Harahan residents cannot tolerate these sounds from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 7 more months. Nighttime work has stopped for 4 weeks. Residents have peaceful sleep and do not want nighttime work to return to Harahan. Residents cannot stand 24 hours of noise from the Batcher. No previous nighttime work has existed on Batcher. Wood Company has sand pits in Wagman and Hornville, not located next to a large community as Harahan. Nighttime work does not bring a large revenue to Harahan. Taxes are paid at point of delivery. Airport sand is delivered to New Orleans. Wood Material has a permit to dredge 225,000 cubic yards of sand. But in 2015, Wood Company chose to go over their permit without permission from the DNR and dredged 914,000 cubic yards of sand. On June 14, DNR placed Wood Company in a cease dredging order. So Wood Company proceeded to apply with DNR for a permit for 1.5 million cubic yards of sand. That is a huge jump from a previous amount of 225,000 cubic yards of sand. We do not agree with DNR giving Wood Materials the permission to resume dredging of 1.5 million cubic yards of sand. Wood Materials ruined Harahan's residents' quality of life with an increase of sand dredge in 2015. Wood Company asking for even higher permit to dredge will even more destroy the residents of Harahan's quality of life. Wood Materials has become a large industrial company, continuing to grow larger with activity on Harahan Sandbatcher as trying to run operations 24 hours a day. Filing permit to dredge 1.5 million cubic yards of sand, storing compost, animal waste, coffee waste, tree waste, concrete crushing, asphalt crushing, and limestone on the Batcher. Only a levee is between a large community of Wood Materials activity. There is no sand batcher along the Mississippi River as large as Wood Materials, affecting such a large community as Harahan. Residents need sand batcher ordinance, Harahan's noise ordinance, nuisance ordinance, particular matter ordinance enforced to protect Harahan residents. When we contact local representatives and entities, we are asked, what is your mayor doing about this problem? Mayor, can you please explain to everyone what you are doing as mayor to enforce the laws of Harahan against Wood Materials activity on the Batcher?
Thank you. It's addressed the council, so thank you.
I'd just like to say that the residents really need to hear this. They really need to hear from the mayor because a lot of people tell us, what is the mayor doing?
Would you like to, the time is,
You would like to make a motion?
if you would like to
Sure.
only.
Motion
Do you have a motion
to extend.
I have a motion to extend time by Councilman Hewitt, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any
Thank you very much.
opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you very much. You know, we continue to address the different entities, the Corps of Engineers, the DNA, the DEQ, continually. It's a nonstop job to try to do this. And we just hear each one that we talk to on the phone or wherever it is, they ask us this question: what is the mayor doing to address this problem? I have to say, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I know that Mayor, you have been doing some things, but I don't have the answer to give to the residents. I know that this meeting is going to be playing over and over in the month, and a lot of residents who couldn't be here will be listening to this. So I think that it would just be kind, you know, just for you to say, you know, what have you been doing to address the entities that are involved here? We need you to address the entities. We need you to address all these entities, like 5 of them. We need you as the mayor to address these entities. So, you know, all I'm doing is asking you a question for you to be able to give us an answer so that as representatives for the community, we can give people or entities or local officials the answer when they ask that. So that's the only reason why I'm asking. I'm not trying to put you in a spot. I'm trying to say we need to know what to tell people. We can't say, I don't know. And then we hear only your mayor can enforce the law. The council makes up the law, the mayor enforces the law. So we say, okay, well, what's that, this is a year. We addressed this last July, in the end of the month. This is a year. We get up here, we talk, and nobody says nothing. So we just go home like, gosh, we put all this work into this. And do you know what's going on? And we look at each other like, no. So all I'm just saying is, what are you doing to help? I know that Wood Materials led a city business, went out, you sent it to everybody. You sent it to it was posted on the websites of Facebook, but this company is not telling the truth. This is a big thing they put out here and said in July, they said in August 11th, in July, the work started. Now, if you're going to do an article, you ought to know by August 11th you didn't start it. I mean, that makes no sense. Over and over and over from public records, we see that this company is not telling the truth. So I would just like you to answer. If you say you don't want to answer, then I can't make you answer. But I would appreciate if you could give us an answer, because I need to be able to tell people, as representatives, we need to be able to tell people.
We can't address this right now. We're moving on through address the council. Be happy to redress it at a later time. And I'd be happy to meet with you and any resident at any time. Thank you.
My name is, excuse me. My name is Jim Perrier. I'm a lifelong resident of Harahan. I live at 6801 Riverside Drive. And I'm honestly here to show support and appreciation to John and Evelyn. They've worked very hard on this. As a lifelong resident of Harahan and on River Road, my parents fought Woods. Woods is not a good neighbor. And I know I'm not supposed to say anything inflammatory, Mayor. I'm sorry. But I read that article in City Business, and it's a crock. But the only reason that Woods is not in front of my house, which is at the corner of Harlene's and River Road, is because of my parents and the neighbors in that area. They moved their work from that area to Bailey to affect less people in Harahan, so you'd have less people from Harahan complaining about it. That's the only reason they're doing it. The less we complain, the less we're vocal, they're going to grow. And it's going to get worse. And it's not just for the people that are right there, it's for everybody. My immediate family and home is not affected that badly. We get a little bit depending upon how much activity they put on back there. And if we're quiet, they grow. It gets more and more, and they'll do it at night. They'll do it when you can't see. So I'm here to support them. I can't tell you how much I appreciate what they're doing. It's not easy. I have a job, so I can't do it like they do, but it's wonderful that they do it. And I think all of the residents of Harahan need to appreciate what they're doing.
Hello, Kay Mitchell, 41 Oak Avenue. Can I use your prop over there? Can I have permission to use your prop? Okay, I'm a hairdresser. Okay, I'm not an accountant or anything. But from my hairdressing skills and my people skills, Wood's material never helped this. Wood's material never helped this. And he's definitely not going to help this, because nobody I know is going to come by a house. People that are wanting to move out of New Orleans and find a nice place to live that would make this community even nicer, being that pearl that I envision and that I know one day if we keep up, and Evelyn, if we keep up, we got this, okay? So, no, Woods ain't gonna help us with that, okay? It's gonna go against what we're trying to do. So just, again, help us with our quality of life. Do everything you can so that we can make this even a better place. I am such a big fan. It's so weird that it's Katrina anniversary, because we left Uptown to ride it out actually in River Ridge at our in-laws' house, because they had a bigger house, well, a brick house, and we were here, for Katrina, for the whole thing, and the people at Harahan were amazing. You know, I was just so blessed to be here and not be in New Orleans. So there's so many cool people from New Orleans that would love to move here, but they know what's going on here, and it's not going to help this. So if it can help this, and it can help all this, you know, just help us. We're just asking, and you can do it. I know you can, all right? I know you can.
Thank you. Next. Next. Thank you, Kay.
Is that hers?
Fred Klotz, 41 Oak Avenue. I'm here to support Evelyn and John and the people of Harahan, and to do something about the problem with woods. Today I noticed on River Road there's water seepage underneath the levee going onto the road. Being the anniversary of Katrina, my first thought was Lakeview. Lakeview complained and complained and complained and complained for years. Nobody did anything. That's where the levee broke. Complained for years. Nothing was done. I understand Woods is digging that, instead of dredging, they're digging their pit down to where you can't see the machines. Is that where the water's coming from? Because if it is, and we get spring floods and the river rises, is Harahan gonna be gone like Lakeview was? I think that needs to be looked at, because you cannot have water seeping through the levee and it be safe. So this is one more thing that we need to address, and it just coincidentally is happened to be by Woods Pit. So y'all please look into it. Thank you.
George Ackle, own several businesses at the 6200 block of Jefferson Highway. I have a residence at 57 Colonial Club Drive, and I'm coming to speak on behalf of all the Woods Pit and the air quality of Harahan and the dirt, the debris. Not a lot has changed in the last few months. I know I spoke at a previous council meeting about the amount of amount of the upkeep and maintenance I have to do on my properties, the air quality, the dirt, everything that goes with it. I know they're trying to, some of the other pits are trying to water the streets to lessen the dirt. It's just making more of a mess. I just came to follow through. A lot of residents have called me, and I'd like to see this thing resolved, because if this is going to be a norm for the quality of life in Harahan, it's definitely not good. I mean, it definitely deteriorates everybody's values and quality of life to have to deal with this and just accept it. I really hope the council and everybody looks at everything and can see what needs to be done to help all the citizens in Harahan, all the homes and all the businesses to enjoy the quality of life that we once knew as Harahan.
Thank you.
Eric Chatelain, 700 Colonial Club Drive. I didn't come here tonight for any particular reason, but to pay attention to what's going on. I do know at Riverside Drive in Pecan there is a leak coming from the levee, which I know the guy in front of me made you aware of, but it's at Pecan and Riverside Drive. I did call City Hall and tell them about the leak, I'm guessing a week ago, and I don't know if someone looked at it or not. I hope they did. Also, I've called City Hall numerous times about drainage blocked on a highway between Penfold and Colonial Club. It can rain, and 2 days later, you could walk to the drainage, and the ditch on the right side is full to the top. The ditch on the left side is dry. It's simple as cleaning one culvert. I don't know if it needs to be changed or not. Problem is, you could probably call a state, and they're going to do it, because that's a state ditch. It's on a state highway. The budget issue. We brought the deficit down. That's great. I applaud y'all for that. We have a lot of maintenance that needs to be done. If you bring the deficit down and you don't make minor maintenance repairs, in a couple years, you're going to bring that deficit right back up. You need to clean your drains, clean your sewer, take care of your police officers, take care of your firemen. You can't keep jacking them around on insurance. We need to take care of these people. When you lose a police officer, I don't know, I think they said it costs $50,000 to train another one. We need to take care of the police, the firemen, and maintain our systems. I think y'all doing a great job, but there's a lot of minor steps we could take to move the city forward. Thank you.
We will now address the count. Oh, that's right. Oh, thank you. I had written a note. Does Miss Vivian Solaris want to come up? We didn't want you to miss your opportunity. Thank you. I even wrote a note.
No, I don't want to miss being on television.
Well, you look terrific.
My name is Vivian Solaris. I live at 29 West Imperial, and I'm here concerning my water bill. I propose a change in the minimum water consumption. The first level would be reduced from 6,000 gallons to 4,000 gallons. The charges would remain $5.70. And thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, Councilman Johnson, for reminding. Thank you. We will now address the council. Approval of the minutes.
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on July 21st.
Do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on July 21st.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Communications.
The Board of Adjustments and Appeals did not meet in July, and the Planning and Zoning Board didn't meet in August.
Resolutions. Madam Clerk.
I proposed resolution number 2016-10. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the Council of the City of Harahan. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, in a public meeting held on August 29, 2016, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Law and the additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 47-1705B, that the following adjusted millage rates be and they are hereby levied upon the dollar of the assessed valuation of all property subject to ad valorem taxation within said city for the year 2016 for the purpose of raising revenue. Total millage 13.59.
Thank you.
Be it further resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan that the tax collector of the City of Harahan is hereby authorized to extend said tax on the assessment rolls of the City of Harahan for the year 2016, and she is further authorized to collect said tax on all property within the incorporated limits of the City of Harahan. The foregoing resolution was read in full, roll was called on the adoption thereof, and this resolution was adopted by the following votes.
Ms. Lulu, do you mind taking this opportunity before council discussion and address the council to maybe explain the resolutions that are before us tonight?
Sure. Every 4 years, the Jefferson Parish Tax Assessor values the properties held in the parish and tells everyone what their property is now worth. For the most part, historically, property values have increased, which is good as people want their investment in their homes' values to increase. The parish and the city collects taxes from the citizens based upon the property values. Upon an assessment year, the city can choose to keep collecting the same amount of tax dollars, in which case the millage rates are decreased or rolled back, which is Ordinance 2016-10. This ordinance must be adopted by a simple majority vote or the city will lose the millage. The second ordinance allows the city to recognize and take advantage of the increased property values. This increase amounts to $29,585.57 more tax revenues collected in a year. The city has approximately 4,000 properties, so this breaks down to only $7.40 more per property per year. This increased taxes will continue until 4 years from now when the Jefferson Parish Assessor values the properties again. So this additional $30,000 worth of taxes would mean an additional $120,000 for the city over the next 4 years. Just like the cost of living has gone up for each of us, there is an increase in the cost of running the government. The city has not increased the property taxes collected since 2008. Additionally, the city has lost both the sewer and police millages in the past. The city has made great strides in reducing its deficit, but the deficit still remains. In order to provide the basic essential services for its citizens, the city must find revenue sources. There are very few ways the government can bring money in, and the city cannot afford to stay idle and allow this revenue opportunity to pass them by.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to open to public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. It is now open to the public to discuss this first resolution on the millage. If there's no one interested in speaking from the public, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler this time. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Council discussion?
I just mainly have a question on the procedural of this. It can go by resolution, or does it have to go by ordinance?
I'm going to defer to the clerk. I mean, she's been doing extensive research on this, and everything that I've looked at says it can be done by resolution.
Okay.
And I went with his recommendation.
Okay.
Any further discussion? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution to proceed with the vote?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton this time. All in favor? Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
That's on the 10? That's to keep the rates the
Yes,
same?
to keep the,
Just
to keep the millage.
You got me confused. This is,
Actually, the first one would roll the mill.
the first one's just going
Right.
to keep
Just
it
to
like
keep
it
it.
is.
The second one's
The second one's to roll it.
Right. This, he
Right.
needs a simple majority to keep the millage so that we don't lose the millage. This is what we have to vote on. And
Okay.
the second one is a roll forward.
So we have to vote on this one definitely, and then the other one comes up. Okay, I got you.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, 5 yeas.
Okay. So we have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk?
All right, proposed resolution number 2016-11. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council of the city of Harahan. Be it resolved by the council of the city of Harahan, parish of Jefferson, state of Louisiana, in a public meeting held on August 29, 2016, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the open meetings law and the additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 47-1705B, that the taxing district voted to increase the millage rates not in excess of the prior year's maximum rates on all taxable property shown on the official assessment roll for the year 2016, and when collected, the revenue from said taxes shall be used only for the specific purposes for which said taxes have been levied. Said millage rates are adjusted rate 13.59, 2016 levy 13.93. Be it further resolved by the council of the city of Harahan that the tax collector of the city of Harahan is hereby authorized to extend said tax on the assessment rolls of the city of Harahan for the year 2016. She is further authorized to collect said tax on all property within the incorporated limits of the city of Harahan. The foregoing resolution having been submitted to a vote, and the resolution was adopted by no less than 2/3 of the total membership of the taxing authority, voting in favor as required by Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 47-1705B. The vote thereon was as follows.
Thank you. The council has just adopted and adjusted millage rate proposed by the assessor. However, the council has the option of rolling the millage forward in order to keep our millage rates at the same rate as last year. To do this, it takes, however, a majority vote, a supermajority, not a simple majority, of all council members, whether present or not. So 2/3 of our council would be that we would be required to have 4 yeas minimum in order to roll forward. And Chief St. Cyr, did you wanted to say something before?
We will, and I can wait until the public hearing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Benton, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. All in favor? Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. We now are open to public hearing. If anyone would like, from the public, would like to address the council. Let me get my little timer again, Ms. Majine.
Majine Cazenave, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan, Louisiana. As I understand this, the charge will increase our water bill that we now pay every month.
This is the millage, not the water bill for the sewer.
That's what we're gonna add on.
This is the resolution for roll forward on a millage, not the sewer fees.
Oh, okay. Well, I
I'm
wanna speak
sorry.
about it.
Thank you. Come back.
Nice try.
And we'll ask Councilman Johnson to make sure that you get back up.
right.
All right? Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak to the roll forward?
Mayor, if there's no one else from the public that wishes to speak, I'd love to
Would you
address.
stand up and take the,
Most certainly.
whatever?
First of all, I apologize for being late. I'm such a creature of habit. I knew that tonight's meeting was for 6 o'clock, but for whatever reason, my vehicle would not bring me until it did. But anyway.
I couldn't get away with that excuse, just to let you know.
I tried. I know it was a weak effort, but I tried. Anyway, I'd like to address you about the millage. I know that Ms. Linda had explained to you exactly how it works and some of the reasons that we should roll the millages forward. As someone who has had to go out multiple times and try to get these millages passed, what happens is if you continue to allow them over this year and 4 years from now to roll back, it makes it that much tougher for us to renew. Because then we're making that big leap all at one time. So instead of being $7 now a year, it's going to be $14 or $25 just to keep and pass that 5 mils. So when people ask, are my taxes going to go up, we have to say yes. Just by doing the 5 mils, because this time it would go back to 4.880, I believe. Next time it might go down to 4.320, and the time after that, before we have to go up for a renewal, it may be down to 3 something. So then it would jump from 3 something all the way to. It's a lot of what has happened in Harahan over the years. At one time, we used to collect 30 mils, and we've always allowed them to roll back. A couple of times we've rolled them forward and done the right thing because of inflation. Nothing is cheaper for us this year than it was last year. It only gets more expensive. We should collect those funds to help us be able to keep up with the times, as well as there's been a lot of investment in the city of Harahan in building new homes. They're tearing down small homes, and now we go from protecting a little one family with 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms to a big 2-story house with 5 bedrooms and 3 baths. And it's a lot more of a burden on our system when they do need to use our services. So we need to be able to keep up with that, and allowing these things to roll off of the books or roll back is not what's going to help us do it. We need to keep up with it and keep those millages for the fire department at 5. And I didn't even look at what the other ones were rolling back, but I do know for the fire department, it would go from 5 to 4.880, and it's just not smart. Okay?
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Council discussion? Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to clarify for all the citizens. I know that Chief just mentioned it, and so did Ms. Lulu, but this is around a $7 per year per household, correct? So it would bring in $30,000 annually to the city. We renew every 4 years, so that's $120 over 4 years, and each household would be impacted about $7 annually. Just so the public's aware. I just
Thank
wanted
you
to
for clarifying
just wanted to say that again.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to adopt the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is passed. So, thank you, everyone. Ordinances for approval.
Proposed ordinance number 2016-9. The following ordinance was proposed unanimously by the Council of the City of Harahan. An ordinance to repeal and amend ordinance number 1752, which amended ordinance number 1402, which amended ordinance number 53, sewage district number 1 of the City of Harahan, which amended ordinance number 481, the City of Harahan, and ordinance number 26, section 1, sewage district number 1 of the City of Harahan, the Harahan Municipal Code, chapter 22, article 2, Division 2, under user charges, section 22-46, schedule of changes, providing for a change of user charges for services rendered by the said sewage district.
Thank you. Again, before we open to public hearing, I'd like Miss Lulu to speak to this complex sewer ordinance so that the public will be able to hear from her first when they come up and make their comments or state their concerns. Miss Lulu?
Okay, the city received a $4 million 20-year loan from the DEQ in December of 2014 to help the city pay for the much-needed sewer renovations. The covenants of the DEQ loan require that the city generate enough user fees to cover the following costs each year: operating expenses, which include to operate the sewer system, maintain the sewer system, and replace the sewer system; and debt service expenses, which includes funding the sinking fund, the reserve fund, and the contingency fund at the amounts required per the DEQ loan. In order to qualify for the DEQ loan, the city had to prove its ability to generate enough user fees to cover these costs. This was done with ordinance number 1752, which was passed unanimously by the prior council in 2013. These fees are supposed to be reviewed annually to ensure that the covenant is still being met. Through this loan agreement, the city is obligated to ensure that all covenants are met. The DEQ loan covenant also states that the city shall prepare a report showing the review of the user fees being sufficient and shall furnish a copy of such report to the DEQ. To my knowledge, no such report has been remitted. Additionally, the city received a letter from the DEQ in November of 2015 where it states that the city is not in compliance with debt service requirements and to submit proof of such requirements. We have received 2 extensions on this deadline pending this vote. The past ordinance and the exhibit number 8, which shows the minimum fee schedule required, will be remitted to the DEQ hopefully this week. Of additional concern to the city, we have 2 audits for the year ending December 31st, 2016 coming up. There will be the regular annual financial audit and a single audit. A single audit reviews all of the federal expenditures the city has made, which includes the DEQ loan. Therefore, this loan and its covenants will be gone over with a fine-tooth comb at year end. The city risks audit findings, fines, penalties, decreased bond rating, and the availability of receiving future grants or loans from the government if it is found that the city has not lived up to these covenants. The city will need additional money in the future to finish bringing the sewer system up to standard, and having failed in meeting bond obligations, this money will not be forthcoming. If the city cannot provide proof that enough revenue is generated by the user fees to cover the operating and debt service expenses, the city will be in default with the loan requirements. Being in default may most definitely cause the bond to be called for full and immediate payment. To date, we have drawn down $1,165,000 of the $4 million loan, and we have paid back $30,000 of principal. Therefore, should the loan be recalled, the city would have to pay approximately $1,150,000, which includes the interest. This is just paying back what the city owes. There would also be fines associated with defaulting on the DEQ covenants, which can amount to $50,000 a day. Not only can't the city afford to pay any of this, either the loan or the fines, but it would be an unjust burden to the citizens of Harahan. Such penalties would have to be passed on to the citizens, and the added insult would be that the sewer system would not be fixed, and a working sewer system really should be a basic right of every citizen. Lastly, in terms of penalties, there is the chance that defaulting on the loan could give the state of Louisiana reason to step in and take over the running of the city. This is called a conservatorship, and I'm sure the council would not like to see their fair city being administered by outsiders. Last week, I provided various exhibits showing how much the city must collect in user fees to be able to meet its obligations with regards to operating and meeting the debt service expenses. There is only one scenario which achieves this requirement, and it was provided to the council as exhibit number 8. The end result is an increase in user fees to meet the bond requirements. For residential, the current rate per 1,000 gallons of water is $2.50. We need $5.60 for the last 2 months of the year, which is an increase of $3.10. For commercial, current rate per 1,000 gallons of water is $2.75. We need $6.25, which is an increase of $3.50. Additionally, there must be a 5% increase for both residential and commercial each year beginning in 2017 through 2021. Therefore, this issue will be on the December meeting's agenda to review for 2017. For 2016, we estimate that a single person's bill will increase from $10.74 to $21.48, and a home of four will increase from $42.95 to $85.90 per billing cycle, which is every 2 months. It is unfortunate that these rates increases must happen, but if we do not meet the loan requirements, the consequences to the residents of the city will be even more dire. Had the city been reviewing the fees and expenses annually and made adjustments accordingly, no one would be looking at this same level of increase as we are now. Tonight's agenda shows how important sewer rates are. There was a sewer collapse from a water main and a leakage just this month. Ordinance number 2016-13 tonight is proposing to dip into the capital project fund for an additional $70,000 for this emergency repair. The sewer fund is an enterprise fund, which means it is supposed to operate as a business and make enough money to be self-supporting, including for such unforeseen circumstances as this. Additionally, per the DEQ loan, on the sewer fund, only the sewer fund should be paying for such repairs. Maybe in the future, once these rates are adjusted as appropriate, we could budget for repayment of the capital fund for the $70,000.
Ms. Lulu, before we open, the numbers that you have presented in the ordinance are minimally, you feel are minimally adequate to meet the loan obligation,
Yes, that's
correct?
the minimum.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to open to public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor? Yay. Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Anyone who would now like to come up and speak to, Ms. Majin, to speak to the sewer ordinance, the sewer fees, please come and do so. State your name and address, please. Thank you.
Nadine Casnay, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan, Louisiana. As I understand it, this charge will increase our water bill that we now pay every other month, $10. I know originally in 1963, we approved 10 mills to build and maintain the plant. How many mills are now being collected on our tax bill for the storage plant?
None.
Again, I urge you to adopt this because the storage system must be maintained and we can't afford not to have it fixed. We having problems right now. I have to agree with Todd. People are building bigger homes in Harahan. It's going to take more service charge to fix the sewer system. Everybody that's been living here for years knows we've been having problems for not just this council, but for all the previous. Carlo can tell you that. Been going on in Harahan for years.
Thank you. And would you like, I think we've got someone else who would like to speak, and then Chief, if you would like to. No, please.
Thank you, sir. I'll address you from here real quick. I know you're gonna get tired of hearing me from the night, and this won't be the last time, so.
Do you mind standing up again?
Sure.
Thanks. I'm sorry. You're so pretty on camera.
That's why I try to give them the back of my head. I'm just of the opinion that the sewer department or the sewer system should fund itself. It has been a burden on the city's budget for years, for as long as I can remember. It's always had to reach into the city's coffers and take a little bit. Over the last few years, even before the $4 million bond was received by the city, quite a few dollars have been spent to fix and troubleshoot and fix problems out in the field. And that most certainly has affected our department. It has affected our ability to respond with personnel. That's the sole reason right there that we were unable to replace the people who have left, was because of the sewer system. This system needs to be able to fund itself. Whether it's this, I haven't looked at the numbers of this ordinance. I know zero about this ordinance other than the fact that we need to find a way for the sewer system to fund itself, whether it's through this or another method or one way or the other, but it can't continue to be a burden on the rest of the city's budget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin Smith, 913 Franklin Avenue. Ms. Tina, you know our situation is still going. I would gladly pay whatever the cost is to, when it rains, not have to worry about my grandkids playing in raw sewage in my front yard. It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
My name is Tracy Whittle. I live at 508 Gordon Avenue. I understand that we do have to find a way to fund the sewer, but I don't think the answer is doubling what the residents are paying right now. I mean, we do have problems with the sewer, but I don't think the answer is doubling all at one time what the residents are paying. And maybe I don't fully understand what's going on, but I think that that's a big chunk for the residents to have to pay out of pocket all at one time. So maybe if you all can explain it a little bit better, or I'm in agreement with Chief St. Cyr.
What is,
Welcome back.
what is the amount of gallons of water that would be the minimum, you pay the minimum?
You want me to read the whole ordinance?
We'll address that during our council discussion and answer your question specifically.
Okay.
And we'll
'cause
locate it.
I had called the water department, and they said the minimum is 0 to 6,000 gallons. Now, everybody seems to want to be bigger and bigger. I want to be smaller and smaller. I don't mind paying more, but I want to have the opportunity to be in the lower group. If I want to conserve my water, I want that option. Thank you.
We're going to call a quick recess. Thank you.